Welcome back to Giants Mania. Today we'll be looking at Azeez Ojulari, the edge rusher the Giants got in round number 2. So first game's against Alabama. I forget who the second game's against, but we'll find out about halfway through the video, I guess. But first off, we have him right here on the edge, and I think he's supposed to be blocked by the left guard here. I think it's Deontay Brown, the big dude. And it looks like the offensive line is going to shift to the left, and I think he just missed his assignment, and Ojulari gets the pressure. This might have been the play where he hits the ball as he throws it. Yes, it is. And I don't think this was intercepted. I'm pretty sure it hit the ground. But still, just to see that Ojulari got there, used those long arms to get there, he basically went untouched. It's not the most impressive pass rush I've ever seen. And once again, sorry for the angle here. I wish we had the all-22 version, but this is not great. So it looks like he was going way too far to this side, and Ojulari just kind of broke in, kind of pushed him away with his right arm, and got there pretty easily. So wasn't the best job by the left guard right there, but Ojulari had the speed to get there and knock the ball away and almost caused an interception. So here's one of the next few plays, and the same left guard gets him back here. He's going to pull to the right and meet Ojulari right here on a run play, and he kind of takes him out of the play. So I'm going over the good and the bad, just plays that he was involved in. And I will say, there's probably a close to 100-pound difference between this left guard here, Deontay Brown, and Ojulari, so I'm not expecting him to shed this block easily. But Brown, gets kind of lower than him, good leverage. I don't really expect Ojulari to get away here, but I will say to Ojulari's credit, he does play through this entire snap. Like, he's still going right here. He's going back and forth with him. It does get to the ground, but still, I do like the effort he was showing there. It's just when he got squared up right there by a guy that's bigger than him, clearly bigger than him, he had a tough time disengaging right there on that run play. So here's Ojulari right here lined up against the 17th overall pick, Alex Leatherwood. He went to the Raiders, pretty early pick for him, but still, 17th overall pick nonetheless. So here's a play where his pass rushing move did not exactly work. He kind of got stopped in his tracks. But on this swing pass here to Najee Harris, he did have the awareness to put up his right arm and knock that ball away. So he still got involved. I mean, luckily the ball went to his side of the field. And we'll take a look here. Thank God we get a replay. But here's a one-on-one matchup. So Ojulari a lot of times will try to extend his left arm as he does right here and kind of try to knock down the offensive tackle's left arm with his right arm. We'll take a look at it right there. Watch his right arm try to push down on Leatherwood's forearm. Can't really disengage from that block, so he's pretty much locked up right here. But at least he had the awareness to put his hand up and knock that ball away. But most of the time, when he is pass rushing, this is kind of his go-to move. It's just extending his arms just like that, extending that left arm and using that right arm to kind of club the offensive tackle's hands down. But in that case, it did not work for him. But we will see in other cases during this film review that it does work many times for him. So here's a play from Ojulari where he's going to drop in coverage and kind of shows off that smooth athleticism he has. We'll just take a look right here how he just looks like a fluid athlete right here. Just drops back easily. It just looks very natural for him. And now Mac Jones is going to step up to the left. He's still behind the line of scrimmage, so a throw could happen. I'm sure he's aware of that. He steps up here and is able to knock that pass free. It might have been, a 9-yard gain or so. I think that's Devontae Smith. Maybe it's not. It looks like an 8. I don't know. But, so yeah, it was pretty good awareness from him, honestly. So, once again, let's take a look. Backs up in coverage and zone. And then he's going to meet him around like that 50 or 45-yard area. Knocks the pass away. So good awareness right there from Azeez Ojulari. I'm sure the Giants will use him in a lot of situations like this where they drop him back in coverage. He probably won't rush the passer every single time he's in there. So to know he can do this is definitely a positive. So here's Ojulari against Leatherwood again. This time he gets the better of him in this play. We'll take a look. Pretty much close to the same pass rushing move. I think he pulled down on his jersey that time, which is a little different. Pretty sure that was intentional grounding on that play. But here's Ojulari. We'll take a look against Leatherwood. So once again, it's going to be him extending his arms probably. Mainly that left arm, keeps that right arm free, which is what he likes to do. Leatherwood has both of his arms locked on him. Then watch that right arm. Push down on that forearm again. This time he kind of pulls him forward with that left arm of his and gets around him and kind of chases Mac Jones out of that pocket. Another defender from Georgia was there as well. And he throws it for intentional grounding. So I'll let the pass rushing move play, but it's pretty nice what he does, honestly. With the length he possesses, he's going to pull once again with his left hand and kind of use that right hand to push down on that forearm. So basically he has all the leverage at that point, and he would have had Mac Jones if he didn't throw that ball away, so that would have been a sack. He beat this guy relatively quickly. Once again, this is a left tackle that was taken in the first round, so this is no you know, it's not some Division III guy playing left tackle right here. So it's pretty impressive what Ojulari was able to do. And this pass rushing move, as I mentioned, these kind of moves for him work more times than not. So here's one where it's just a replay. He's on top here against Leatherwood again, and I feel like he could have went a different way about this. I mean, he tries to do his typical move with the long arm, and then uses that right arm again to kind of swipe away that left forearm of Leatherwood. But on a play like this, where you see the left guard and center are basically doubling the defensive tackle, kind of wish he went towards the inside here. I'm not sure exactly what the defensive call was. What was the game plan? Was he supposed to contain on the outside? So I'm just kind of speculating there. But still, on a play like this, you would have liked to seen like a hard plant with his right leg, then cut back inside and maybe try and get some pressure that way. Sometimes he tries to just go to the corner or go on the outside regardless, and Leatherwood does a good job, despite getting his arm knocked down right there pretty much, of moving his feet and pretty much creating that pocket for Mac Jones, who has awful footwork on this play, by the way. I don't know what that was. But on a play like this, it's kind of more just like having better reaction to what the offensive tackle is doing in front of you. And when you see he's giving you this much room inside, I feel like you have to take advantage of it. And Mac Jones is not the type of quarterback who's he's not going to roll out to his left and run for 20 yards. Not really the type of quarterback he is. So if you got in here, it's pretty much going to end the play for Mac Jones. So I do wish he went a different way about it. But I will say his ability to just corner and plant that leg is very impressive. Like, it looks like a lot of times that Ojulari is going to overrun the quarterback by 5 yards and then just one plant in his leg and he's like basically parallel. So it is pretty impressive by him. I just wish on a play like that he took a different angle to the quarterback. So one of the knocks on Azeez Ojulari is how he plays the run. And I will say it kind of reminds me of like Kadarius Toney's route running, how sometimes he has some of those high-end reps with his route running and sometimes it's a bit inconsistent. I think Ojulari is the same way. This is Ojulari right here as I'll let this one play out. But Ojulari on some plays like this one will do a fantastic job against the run, and there are times where sometimes he would just get swallowed up by a block and kind of get taken out of the play. This is one where he does a great job of just putting his entire left side of his body into this like guard or center, whatever he is, and using his right arm to make this tackle. Like his left arm's right here. He's using his right arm to basically wrap up this running back's waist and come down with this tackle. Eventually gets both arms on his legs for a tackle. But this is a really nice job by him. And I did start this kind of late, so I think that's my fault. But you can see him right here. This guy right here, I guess it's a right guard, left guard, whatever, engages with him. And he basically almost has him on the ground, but his balance is so good. He has his entire left side taken up, but he has that right hand somewhere. We'll see it pop out right there. We'll see it pop out. That's his right hand. And he finds a way to wrap him up with one arm, get his left arm free, and find a way to wrap up this running back. And he does have some help from a teammate there, but still, like, that is really impressive stuff. So there are times in the run game where Ojulari is just taken out of the play sometimes, and then there's times like this where it looks like he's taken out of the play, and he still finds a way to make a fantastic tackle. So here's a play in the run game where I don't think this is Ojulari's fault. If there's one culprit on this play, it's probably this linebacker right here, but he kind of gets taken out of the play. Now, I don't know if he was supposed to contain the edge or not, which he does do a good job of, but this entire lane is wide open for Najee Harris. And I'll show you which linebacker effed up at one point. I mean, this one linebacker got completely fooled on this play. I think it was this guy right here. This one right here thinks it's a pass play, even though Harris has the ball. He runs back towards this side, so he probably should have been the one making this tackle in the hole. I can't really blame Ojulari, but Ojulari pretty much got taken out of the play. Like, he's still getting blocked, getting sealed by Leatherwood, who does a good job on this play. So he doesn't get completely taken out of the play, but if the linebacker, I mean, this is why all 11 guys are important. If the linebacker just met him in this hole right here, it's probably a 1 or 2 yard gain. And if Najee Harris, for some reason, bounced it outside, that would have been Ojulari's tackle. So I really can't blame him for that play. I just thought it was an interesting one, but the linebacker definitely took an awful ankle on that run play. So here is Ojulari on the top of the screen right here. Play already started, and his bend is ridiculous on this play. Like, he does not get the sack, but he gets the pressure, and like, he gets so close. Like, this doesn't make sense, honestly. He is so good at bending and getting around that corner. So Leatherwood reaches out right there. He's already by him. And somehow, he's pretty much even with him, just has like the ability, almost going at full speed, to just stop on a dime basically, and come around and nearly get the sack on Mac Jones. I wish there was a replay on this one, but there's not. I'll try and slow it down for you guys real quick, but just right here, some hand fighting, kind of pushes his arms down with his right hand, and gets free right there. Now, he basically is going full speed. As I said, he's basically parallel with Jones, and to go full speed and just like stop basically and get there almost in time. Now look, like that's he's such a good athlete. Like that's not normal to be positioned like this, but he's a great athlete, and he almost got him. It was very close. Now unfortunately it went for a reception to Alabama, but still, the way this guy can turn the corner and his bend is insane. And there will be times like this where he gets sacks in very awkward positions, but for him, he's just such a good athlete that he's able to do things like this. So here's a good play that kind of shows you the run-stopping inconsistencies with Ojulari. So here's Ojulari right here. He's going to get taken on by a block from this tight end right here in motion, and just had a really hard time disengaging. Now, I will say, it was close to like holding. I will say that. It kind of looks like a bear hug in this, it does not look legal. It wasn't called, but like still, it was a tough block for him to get away from. I don't know how good of a blocker this guy, I don't know what's his name, Forrestall. I don't know what kind of blocker this guy is, so I can't really speak on that. But the fact that they ran the ball to his side, and he had a very tough time getting away from this block, it's not what you want to see. He did have extra teammates right there to only make it a 1-yard game, but I do wish against the tight end especially that he was able to disengage from that block easier. So here is the second game we're looking at against Auburn here, and here's Ojulari. This wasn't his best rep. Now, I don't know if he meant to do this because there is a guy blitzing right behind him, so I don't know if his goal was to, kind of drag the left tackle out here. Maybe it was. We'll take a look at it, but I don't know if his goal was to just occupy the left tackle and open up this gap right here. Maybe it was, and if that was his goal, then it definitely worked. I mean, the guy missed the tackle, unfortunately, and Nick's turned it into a near interception. But Ojulari on a play like this got taken out of the play with almost one hand from the left tackle, which is not great. But at this point right here, he has to find a way to kind of just get back into the play. He gets taken off the ball way too much and just is out of the picture by the time he releases the ball. So while I don't really blame him for this, because once again, I think that it was kind of part of the play just to get this guy an open lane, which worked. Unfortunately, he missed the tackle. But like right around this point, when Ojulari sees that Bo Nix is taking that plant and going forward, you got to kind of get back in. He's just being manhandled by this left tackle right here. Here's Ojulari against the same left tackle. This time has a much better rep against him, and he gets the left tackle off balance. He falls there, almost gets back in the play and knocks the ball out, but it was an overthrow anyway, but he was close to getting to the quarterback there. So once again, it's hard to see from these angles, but it looks like Ojulari, as usual, tries to get that left arm out and kind of just occupy the tackle's hands. Now the tackle right here does a good job of just slapping down on that right, slapping down on the left hand of Ojulari and knocking his hand down. But doing that, he gets himself off balance and just, as you see, falls on his face right there. And Ojulari has to kind of turn this corner now and get there. And he was a bit slow reacting to it, but he does get back in the play. Tackle tries to get in front of him again, but by that point, Nick's already let it go. And it falls incomplete. So here's Ojulari right here against a different offensive tackle this time. And he did a move like this before where he kind of just pulled the offensive tackle's jersey down and just got all the leverage and had a free lane at the quarterback. And that's pretty much what happened right there. So we'll take a look at it. Engages here with the left arm. I think his right arm was free again. I think you could see his right arm down here, his right hand at least down there. So this is just with his left arm basically, pulling down the offensive tackle, getting him off balance and getting a free lane at the quarterback. Now, unfortunately, he let the ball go pretty early, but still, he would have got there in time. I don't know if he pulled him down with one arm or two arms is what I'm trying to look for here. You can see his elbow pop out there. Once again, these angles suck, but, he did pull him down with mostly his left arm because I feel like his right arm is right here. So I honestly think that's just maybe one arm, which definitely displays his strength in his hands, which was very impressive. So I was impressed by that move right there. I don't know how often this move will work in the NFL against left tackles and right tackles in the NFL, but the fact that he at least has it is very good to know, and this move will be effective if he can pull it off. So here was a good run-stopping rep here from Ojulari, and I feel like the right tackle right here doesn't really get him squared. I mean, he basically has him with one arm, it looks like, from that angle, but he sheds it and makes a tackle, puts the running back in the ground very easily, and stops the play for I don't know how many yards that it was, a 4-yard loss, it looks like, 3 or 4 yard loss. So, yeah, as I said, the tackle right here doesn't really get him squared up. We'll try and slow it down real quick. I mean, he basically doesn't even have his left shoulder near him. It's basically just one arm trying to block Ojulari. He gets rid of him pretty quickly there, makes quick work, and gets him in the backfield. So that's a really nice run-stopping rep right there from Azeez Ojulari. So if we see that more consistently, then he'll be a really good all-around player. As I said, it has to get more consistent, but at least he does have the reps where he does things like this. So this play right here from Ojulari is really good play recognition, awareness. Now, he doesn't make the tackle, but you can see he's the difference maker right here. He makes Nix bounce it back inside. Of course, he was hoping that the edge guy, which is Ojulari in this case, was going to crash down here, but he basically just stays where he's supposed to. I feel like this is the way you're supposed to do it. This is the way they're coached, and does a perfect job of waiting it out and seeing that Nix kept the ball, giving his teammate the tackle right there. So that was a really smart play, instinctual play, and just a good football IQ type play from Ojulari on that one. So here's a play with Ojulari where he definitely gets he definitely wins his rep in my opinion. The offensive tackle doesn't really get his hands on him whatsoever, barely, if any. So doesn't until the very end there. We'll take a look again. I mean, he doesn't do anything because Nix got the ball out pretty quickly, but tries to get his hands on him there, but just doesn't stop him. Tries to get his left arm on him there, kind of on his left arm, but, by that point he couldn't do anything. But if you're an offensive tackle and you don't get your hands on Azeez Ojulari, he will beat you around the edge, and he'll get to your quarterback more times than not. So on plays like this, he's lucky that he got rid of the ball quickly, but in most cases, if the quarterback held on to the ball, a play like this where the offensive tackle does not get his hands on him right away, it's pretty much going to result in a sack or a pressure. So here's another good play from Ojulari right here. It's really good get-off, explosiveness, burst, pretty much gets there right away. Now, this could have been called a hold. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the offensive tackle has his left hand around his neck area right here. I mean, that's definitely illegal. So could have been called, should have been called. He almost got the sack nonetheless. I mean, I don't know how, but this guy kind of jumped on that one and he picked up a first down. But from Ojulari's standpoint, the explosiveness was great on this play. He's able to get low as usual. Hand fights right there with his right arm. And is able to get around that. This, he's going to get called a hold more times than not. I don't know why he didn't. Almost got him there with his left arm, but he's able to get out of it. So, still, I think Ojulari did a great job on that rep. It's not considered a sack, but I would definitely say that's a pressure. So, we've seen Ojulari win on the edge a lot here. We have not seen too many inside moves from him, but this is one right here where I do admit it's very hard to see from this, broadcast view, so try and stay with me here. But he lines up across on the left tackle right here. We'll take a look. I'll slow it down for you guys just to make it easier. But basically, the left tackle never squares him up. The left tackle right here is basically on Ojulari's right hip the entire time, never squares him up. He has him sideways in the entire rep. And Ojulari breaks through the middle right here. That's him. And, this guy does a good job, too, getting pressure. But Ojulari gets the sack easily right there. So I'll let it go full speed right after this. But that was a really good rep from him, honestly, because we see a lot of speed rusher type moves going around the edge. We don't see too many of them going inside, and that's how we saw it. So here he is, I'll run it through you guys, just, real time. And you can't see much, unfortunately. As I said, if I do this for a living one day, I got to get the all 22 versions for you guys. But for now, this is what we're sticking with. But yeah, this was a really good rep from Ojulari. Love what I saw right there. Kept the left tackle off balance, and he finished it off with the sack. Here was another very good rep right here, and the explosiveness off the line shows. I'll try and slow it down just to show you as a comparison with his other teammates. So here he is. This is Ojulari. This is his two teammates right here also rushing the passer. He's already past the line of scrimmage. And here, he's basically got almost a full yard on this guy right here. His get-off is unbelievable. And he gets around the corner. Once again, could have been a hold. I don't know if they were just being light with the calls. It turns into an interception. But, once again, he has his neck wrapped up, again, with the left hand. You could see his white glove right there. I'm going to try and zoom in for you guys. I don't even know if that's possible. It does not look like it's possible. But has his left glove right there just wrapped around his neck. And he's behind him. So clearly a hold. The ref is looking there. So I don't know. But Ojulari was very close to getting the sack right there. And he basically makes him escape from the pocket, so a pressure right there once again, and it turns to an interception. So he definitely made that play happen right there. Of course, the secondary did their job as well, but Ojulari's get-off and his explosiveness off the line is a big reason as to why this play happened. So here's the last play we'll show. It's a good one. It shows the play awareness once again and just the recognition he has, and it's going to be a screenplay. Now, I will say, I think this should be illegal men downfield. I don't know if it's a college rule. I know it's an NFL rule to have offensive linemen past the line of scrimmage when the quarterback has the ball, so I don't know why that wasn't the flag. But if you guys are watching Ojulari like I'm not doing right now, you watch him right here. He's going to see his guy right here, the left tackle, has no business even trying. He doesn't even sell it. Like, he doesn't even try to block him. He just runs out to block. And Ojulari just puts on the brakes right here. I'll play it in full time or real time for you guys. Just watch Ojulari and how he reacts to this screenplay. It's awesome. Just puts on the brakes and gets in that passing lane right between the running back. Of course, he goes for a loss. But Ojulari, I mean, look, this play may not have worked anyway because I feel like these other guys are all over it. But Ojulari did a really good job of understanding what was happening here. This is good football IQ once again. And he gets in that passing lane. Instead of going right after Bo Nix, kind of gets in this passing lane right here between the running back and the quarterback and makes sure this pass doesn't happen. So he played this one just perfectly, in my opinion. So as I close this out, I will let this play for you guys. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video about Azeez Ojulari. Good get off once again. He's one of the first guys off the line, or usually the first as usual. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Next video we'll do Aaron Robinson. If you guys enjoyed, leave a thumbs up as you did for the last one. I appreciate that. But once again, I'm going to try and get to all the prospects we drafted and the undrafted guys eventually, whenever that happens. Hopefully sometime I'll get that completed in the next couple weeks, I hope. So we'll find out. And I do plan to do a full draft grades recap type video. I just want to watch all these players first. I have not watched the later picks too in depth at this point. I do admit I do want to give that a fair chance before I kind of give an analysis. I want to actually watch them first and get like a good just a good opinion about them and give you guys some good information. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time.